the sides. I actually use the points to push in the needles. It's really tough. That way it's not too much pressure on my pad of my finger. Then I came up with this design. Now I size them to my middle finger because that's the one that I push with.
Yeah.
If you guys, you know, you push with your finger, then you make one for your finger. If you're left-handed, the same thing. And after time, they end up shaping to your finger. This one, I wear the same way pretty much every single time. And I'll even put it on, and it feels weird. But I put it on that way, and you can totally see how it has.
Yeah, the needle's gone at it.
The needle has gone at it, but it's still not gone all the way through. Like I said, I've had this for about 4 years now. I haven't had a needle go through it yet. And I've sewn through some heavy-duty stuff, you know. The points, like I said earlier, they're really good for getting in that needle and just pushing it right through. An example. You have your bigger needles. Those suckers really hurt when you push on them. But what I do is I put that finger back behind it like that, and I just push like that. That way it's not putting any pressure on my pad, so it saves my finger. And I just push with that. My husband is a leather worker. That's where I get my scrap from. And I've made him thimbles too, because sometimes when he sews through leather, which is really thick, if he doesn't punch a hole, and if he has a needle that's sharp enough, then he will do the same thing. It's basically like a not owl. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, they're really nifty and cool, and they will last you. So you can have a look at that one. And then this is a commercially made one, and I don't like them. The reason why, yeah, it has the coin. They call these a coin leather thimble. It's got a little pad. I don't like it because the needle actually will get in there. It will slip and slide.
I have one like that, and it's got like a knitted fabric on the back side, and it does the same thing.
Yeah, so you're using it, you're trying to use it and everything like that. And this is, because this is wider here, well, I understand why they did that, but I don't like that personally, because it's not tight. I always feel like it's going to fall off. I want something secure that's not going to slide off when I'm working. And I do a lot of hand sewing. I do embroidery. So I have this on, and I'm using the needle, and it slips, and it'll move on me. There's nothing to like really stick it in there. My Laurel and I she does a lot of handwork too, and she actually uses 3 thimbles when she sews. One on her middle finger, one on this finger, and also one on her thumb. So this is the thumb one. I don't know if you want to see that, and there's that one. Pass that one around. The thumb one is pretty good too. I haven't needed to use it just because I'm so used to using my middle finger. And they grip too. That's one thing with, unfortunately I don't have my metal thimble with me. But they grip. You can actually feel your needle through the leather. You can actually feel what you are feeling. You know, this isn't sliding. I've got some pressure on there, but it's not sliding like a metal one. It's not popping off, you know. The only time that I ever use a metal thimble, I use it on this finger, and that's if I have a piece of fabric. I will actually put it underneath there, and I'll hold the fabric like that if I'm like mending something, and then I'll sew like this, and what it does is it creates a barrier, and also you can slide the fabric on it and move it around.
Kind of like a very mini darning aid.
Right, exactly. And that's the only time that I ever use a metal one, just because I can go in there and I can be real quick because I got this metal barrier. Would you like to sit?
Oh, we'll sit. Which was easier to hear.
Okay, great. So here is the thumb one. We got big scissors, more big scissors. And we have an extra, if you have, I already have these cut to size. And if they don't fit, I do have this leather that we can make one fit to fit your finger. I did this same class at Great Western War, and I had this big beefy guy, and I needed that extra thing. His finger was
I have fat fingers.
large.
None of these fit me, so
Yeah. Well, let's try some of these.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I've got really fat fingers.
See if any of those. They're kind of got the same
Now, what are we
size,
looking
but
at?
you want to wrap it around your finger. See, that would fit you.
Yes. Boy, just barely.
Next time I will know to actually cut some that are like a bigger ones. And if need be, if none of them actually are, I think they're pretty much all the same size. Are they not long enough?
Not quite. Yeah, see, because it doesn't quite touch to get it to my first one.
Then we'll put you off one.
So, you know, like an 1/8 inch longer is all.
It just, I think that last little bit of stitching I can.
Now, one thing is that leather does stretch over time.
Yeah, true.
So, if you think that it's not going to fit now, it might fit later after it's stretched out a little bit. Wow. Where is my thread? I like lost time. Did I forget my thread?
I was gonna say I have some.
I got this thread. Black thread. They're all pretty much the same size. Put them same size.
Okay, that should be helpful.
You basically want the leather just a touch because you don't want to wrap the leather around, because if you look at these ones, they're pretty much just touching. Now if you want the round tip kind, you'll just fold it over and then shape one of the corners to be round. Or if you like the square kind, then just leave it as it is.
Side.
Yeah, you want to wait if you're making the rounded one. Where is it? Where did I put it? Right here. You'll want to cut the cut side basically.
Okay.
You want to keep this as.
But it goes.
Just fold it over.
Yeah. Okay. So this one needs to be a little smaller.
Probably not. As long as the leather meets up.
Yeah, I was meeting.
Okay, then you're good. Do you want to trim it to be round like that? Scissors. So I would suggest on leather, it's not like fabric where you can just cut two together. Trim one side the way you want it. Just do a little bit at a time. And then once you get it to the curve that you like, then do the other side to match. And then if you guys want to do the thumb one, that one's a little bit more intricate.
So does it matter whether you wrap it around or?
The way that I do it, if you fold it over like that.
Like this?
yeah, it'll create a lot on the sides.
Right.
And you can trim it down if you wanted to. I just prefer to. I've always done it the way.
Sausage wrap.
Yeah, just wrapped around.
Okay.
And does it meet? Does it meet at the bottom?
Yeah, actually, for me, I don't have huge fingers. It actually comes right edge to edge, fairly tight.
Good. That's what you want. You want it just flush because it's gonna stretch. You know, it's a stretchy thing. Okay. So how are you doing? I'm doing just fine. All right. Next step: pick a needle and some thread. You might as well make one too.
Wait a minute. How big is that thread? Okay, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
How much thread do you want? Just whatever.
Yeah. And I usually double the thread over. Yeah.
Anybody else want to fancy your pattern? I don't know that. The wind is really cool. Yeah. Is it? Not on the weather channel. It's 56 high and 20.
Does anybody do Viking or Norse wire weaving? If you ever work with wire and you have to pull it?
Yes.
What I do is actually I make a thimble, and it is basically a cylinder where I wrap it around, and I just do that.
That helped me so much when I got one.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't as tight, and then and it was all funky looking. And then as soon as I definitely copied those, the ones that you made.
Yeah. So all what I do is I just stitch up the top over here, and it gets soft and supple and everything like that, and then you're able to pull your wire a lot easier. You have something to grip with, and you're not gonna. I've actually done it so bad that I've actually split my finger open with the wire, pulling it so hard. That's why I ended up making myself one. It's not even.
Your needle is kind of like a punchy. Oh, thank you.
How long are you supposed to what?
Make the thread.
When I sew, I generally do about half a yard, and so I usually do an arm's length.
Is it doubled or single?
Double. You want to double it, so that would make half an arm's length if it's doubled.
Oh.
All what you do is like exactly what you're doing. Just whip stitch it around. I think on this one I ended up doing like a blanket stitch, so I actually have a kind of like a thread running down the middle too. I actually haven't had in like my previous thimble that I had before this one, I haven't had any of the threads break.
So you're saying there's really no need to do a blanket stitch?
You could if you wanted to. It just ended up coming out like this on this one.
Looks pretty.
It looks pretty, exactly. But it's like this thumb one. It's like all over the place with the thread. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
All the way through both ends.
Yeah.
And I should have brought my thimble to sew a thimble.
I think I'll take mine back to where I have another thimble.
Here's the table.
Don't worry about your stitching.
Functionality is kind of pretty at this point.
I know, but that's unfortunately that's one of the things that
Well, functionality to me is there's a stone table right here.
Yes. What I tend to do when I'm sewing it is I'll do one side and then poke through the other side.
How far into the edge from the edge?
Not very, maybe like a 2 millimeters or something like that. I mean, you can look at that one. Just as long as it
Close.
as long as it grass. And like I said, I haven't had one that's busted on me yet. Watch, I'll be working with that one and it'll bust on me because I said something.
Band-aids out the other day and wrap it around the
I want to take a needle. And most places that actually sell leather will sell the scraps of leather. And so, like, for a couple of bucks, you got yourself a new leather thimble. You know, it's a lot cheaper than going to the store and buying these ones that are, in my opinion, crap.
They're pretty.
They're pretty, that's right, they are.
But with that, you know, you're right, with that mesh in there,
Yeah.
I used one once.
Yeah. The coin thing, they like
It slips.
it slips.
It
There's
really
no,
does.
either the holes need to be bigger so they actually catch the eye.
Oh my. Or depending upon the needle, it goes through them.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, then your needle gets stuck and it's painful.
Mm-hmm.
My dentist told me I really should stop using it.
You should. That is not a good thing.
It's one of those. No, I know. Is this his first rodeo? It's not his first rodeo.
You've used the thimbles, haven't you, with your leather work?
Yeah, I love them with the leather working. Oh, okay.
Fuzzy, it's got fuzz on it.
And a lot of the needles that I use are freaking sharp on the back side.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times I've bled working on things.
Custom staining.
Precisely. Like this scabbard alone, I've bled probably half a dozen times.
Josh. Oh, is that, what does that mean? Does it
Oh, Easa, I talked to you more.
It's much
Basically, what I'm going to do is she wants to make sure that it doesn't go through
I don't
the
like
bottom because
shiny
that thing's
jewelry.
sharper than most
Well, this is actually the back of
I'm
it,
going to go ahead
but
and
still.
put a thick leather insert into the inside.
That'll work.
Very
Old and cool.
yeah, especially as compared to like the Frey statue and the whole knot. I keep leaving this here so because it gets a good shot and they keep moving and I'm like, dang it, dang it, dang it.
I didn't know what I'm doing. I didn't even realize that you were doing that.
Yeah. Because you were complaining about the whipcord thing. The video only had like a couple seconds. So I wanted to get you making one so that if somebody watches it, they can see how to, or kind of how to do it.
It works. Using
Why
the
not?
oh,
I use it
yeah.
all the time.
You use what's available.
Since we don't have a thimble.
I'm doing my leather work and I have a hard block of marble.
You
that I
can take,
use. I
if you need to, take one of the
right down
scraps
on it,
and
goes right
use
through.
it to push it through.
I just recently found the marble slab that I'd used for my leather work, 30
Yeah.
years ago. And
Yep. I love those things. They're so heavy, but I love them.
So what kind of leather would this be called? Does this have a grade or a...
Honey, what grade leather are we working with here? I just go in my husband. No, it's not. Well, it's a heavy suede.
Yeah, that's suede, honey. That's
No, suede is piled.
No.
Piled. This is finished.
Well, it's a finished suede, but it's suede.
No, this is a deer.
This
the
one is
yellow
the
is the
suede,
deer.
but this one is suede.
Yeah.
I got two different ones.
Sorry.
Oh, you like threw it at the lady.
Oh, so this is deer?
Yeah. You just kind of, if you guys have this one, then you can look for ones that are the similar.
It's just 4 ounce finished suede.
There you go. 4 ounce. You want to look for something that's supple and is
Supple but solid.
But
Yeah.
thick enough that,
you don't run it, do that real,
Yeah.
right, exactly. No, I've completely forgotten.
that's okay, because I remembered yours, but I don't remember your husband.
His mundane name is Devin. Yeah. That's right. I remember. We're doing good. How are you doing?
You're doing okay.
Good.
And that's my husband Josh at the end there.
Hello, husband Josh.
Dubasa and her husband Devin. Devin probably doesn't remember me, but he makes a mean set of
I
teeth.
do. Yeah, I remember all those years ago when I was making the vampire fangs.
Yep.
I'm 2 of 2. Husband 2 of 2.
Oh.
Yeah,
I got the better end of the deal with this one.
dental material vampire fangs.
Yes. Oh, seriously wonderful.
I got them sharp enough and thick enough that you could bite through the tops of 2 little bottles of Coke.
Or aluminum cans.
Yeah, aluminum cans are nothing.
I got to tell you what I did to my dentist.
What'd you do?
I
Did
told
you wear them to the dentist?
Yes, I told him.
Evil witch.
I told him.
I love it.
The dental assistant, she'd done all the X-rays and everything, and I told her about him. And this is a brand new dentist to the practice. He'd never seen me before. So she says, if they're out in the car, you've got to go get them. So I went in, I put him in, and because you'd done the Lost Boys style for me.
With the lateral inside.
Okay, I'm doing something really wrong.
I was sitting in the chair, and I was just kind of
The first one, I bent the needle,
Okay, get a really thick needle.
and then the second one, I broke the top of the
Finally
thread.
really looks at my teeth, and he says,
Okay.
Where it
those
went
are
through
better
the
than the
needle.
ones I
That
made
means that
for
that needle
myself.
is
And I thought,
actually
okay,
got
I've
a
got
sharp
the right
point
dentist.
on the inside of the eye.
Awesome. That's the
So
right
try and
dentist.
try and find in that box a needle about that size. You want like a bigger needle,
Well, I'm
and you
glad
want
you
to do
got
it
good
slowly
news.
when you're pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, try that one.
Oh, well, believe me, it's going slowly.
Unfortunately, they, of course, went the way of more thread, please. A lot of things.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely remember you. I forget names like in a matter of seconds, but faces are permanent.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 ounce finished suede. And it basically creates a thimble that you can actually feel the needle, feel what you're doing. But it really is a thimble.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And they have had in
It's
history
like with the
they
metal
have
thimbles
had
and
to have
things,
done
you
this.
can't feel anything.
Yes.
Oh,
But with these, you
Absolutely.
can feel precisely where your needle is.
yeah.
And that's the thing that even as badly as it tears up my hands, I've never really liked using thimbles because you can't feel the needle.
Exactly. Piece of metal. Exactly.
And you know,
Yeah, but with these, you can't not feel where the needle is. That's the neat thing.
which is nice. You can feel the needle without it sticking a
Yeah,
quarter of an inch.
yeah, without doing a custom finish on your letter.
Yes.
Tell me one project we haven't bled for.
Hey, if it doesn't have blood in it,
I'm sure somebody will find something.
You didn't prick your finger on your spinning wheel?
No, because I don't have a flat spindle on my spinning wheel. I'm spinning wool.
So what's her name? What's Sydney Beauty was spinning flat?
Supposedly.
But you haven't slammed into it and managed to cut your ankle open on
Yeah,
the
but if we ever get the walking, honey,
my sister
if we ever get the walking wheel out,
Oh, if we get the walking wheel out, then yes, I will undoubtedly bleed on that.
No, we bought that.
Right? Here's something for you. Remember my poppet?
yes.
Who will be 27 in October?
Oh my
wow.
God, I'm old.
Fiona's starting high school.
Oh my
As the
gosh!
saying goes, other people's children always grow fast.
Yes.
I feel like
Seems like yours will never get there.
And Faye
Until they
is
do.
11 now.
Oh my
Like
god.
they crawl all the places you don't want them.
Oh, speaking of
And then
which,
take up roost in places you really don't want them.
Okay, now I'm like,
wondering where you disappeared to? Hanging out with your new boyfriend?
He is not my boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
See a friend?
that hat that I left on the chair in
puppy.
camp, you can wear if you want. The one with the ties.
puppy.
Oh, yeah.
We were at watching the torch lecture last night. There was a little girl who went by who
You
was
giving
on
him
my
water
3-year-old grandson, and we started laughing. I said, boy, they start so young now.
Rocket.
Yeah, luckily I have grandchildren. Oh my goodness.
Because he's a doofus.
Probably will not have any more.
Hello.
We better not have
How are you?
There's
Nice
another
to meet
dog
you.
over there, honey. Dog syndrome.
And the more you use it, the more it's going to conform to your finger.
It already is to a point, so that's like. This would simply
I got my camera back.
need to make one for all of my freaking fingers.
Dana, do you want to help her? She's
sticking the crap out of myself.
She can't get it through. It's like,
Why don't you go ahead and take Rocket back to camp?
Here,
Love you.
give me it.
I'm sorry.
Good.
No, you're fine, honey.
I just don't know if Josh and I do is we do inkle weaving. And one of the ways to finish the inkle weaving is to take the weft thread and weave it back in through the weaving. Well, we both do a real tight weave on the
Better
inkle
off starting
thread
over.
because we're usually using number 10 crochet cotton.
Yeah, it's
Right.
Well, trying to push that through the weaving without having the needle come
You don't need
through.
it perfect. You just need
I
patience.
usually end this part of the
That's
scissor
right.
and knives and
I
pull
remember
it
embroidering
through.
one time and we didn't have. I'm allergic to most metals.
Oh, there you go.
So I couldn't wear most of the thimbles, and I couldn't find my grandmother's silver ones that she had given me. And my dad tosses me, and he's like, "Here," and I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "It's a 50-cent piece. They're thick. Use it." So I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
Now, he was a magician, so we had coins all over the damn house. So
It just bends to me.
Yeah, except you can't put it.
That's why you weave on it
oh, we had plenty. Trust me.
very tightly so it doesn't bend.
Silver dollars from like the 1800s.
Oh yeah, we've got a
The weight.
bunch of those.
Well, he wasn't saving them. The weight was perfect for magic tricks. So after he died, I went downstairs and I opened up the coin chest. My boyfriend's like, take it to a coin dealer, and I'm like, just put coins. And he's like, take it to a coin dealer. I walked out of the coin dealer with $7,000. I'm like, hell yeah, okay.
My husband came home from the market one day with this shitting grin on his face. And he said, "You see
Mine are
what I
starting to
got?"
go too.
He got a 1901
Old age
change.
crap.
And I said,
I'm definitely
"Well,
not down with it."
probably got
Both
him
my
a
parents have worn
disappointment.
glasses. Both my brothers wear
Have something like
glasses.
that show up.
I've never needed
The
glasses
old
until
Indian
about
thing.
We found all
8
kinds of
years
crap
ago
down
when I
there. The
started
only
noticing
coin that we did not sell because my mom insisted on keeping was my dad had.
Wait a second.
Little
I've always
I
had
could
better
barely
imperfect
read it.
vision. I've always had better imperfect
which was
vision.
medieval, and that one didn't get used in magic. It was just a show-off piece. And my mom's like, "We're not selling that one." I don't know where the hell it went.
distance
When we
vision.
moved, it got lost.
Close in for fit.
Actually, my distance vision is
It
getting
happens.
pretty bad.
I got a lot of pins.
It's just that,
Yeah.
Thanks to my grandma.
from about
I'm just amazed I'm not the one that broke
She
it.
passed on. I got all of her sewing
oh,
stuff.
did you finish?
580 yards.
Grandparents
Take a
tend to
picture of
have
your
large
symbol?
stories too.
Beyond that, it's
Sure,
glory.
with my horrible sewing.
Closer than
No, I just want to, just for her
Well, I
thing.
got halfway around before I broke it.
My dad had a
The needles.
All the 3-gallon type mason jars. Made almost full of silver dollars, half dollars.
Well, that's it. My dad had a chest like this. And it was full of silver dollars and half dollars.
My allowance was always either 50
Because that's what you use. Oh man, if I knew damn well that if I got a 50-cent piece and change or something, I could take it home to my dad and he'd give me $2 for it.
And
if the weight was good, he'd put it in his hand and he'd be like, "There's $2." And I'm like, "Yeah, thanks."
yeah.
My friends are like, "Damn, can we just hit your dad up?" I'm like, "Yeah, you want your 50 cents and $2? Go to my dad with the 72 or earlier half dollar." The weight is perfect in the middle of his hand to make it disappear really fast.
What are those worth? Are they worth a lot more?
No, they're worth 50, especially then. They were worth 50 cents. But he was a magician, and they were perfect for palming.
Oh, I see. So I just had like 10 of them that I gave to my little sister because my grandpa's like, "Don't give these away or use them," and I'm like, "They're not worth anything, are they?"
No, 50 cents.
Yeah.
To my dad, they were worth something, but short of knowing a magician who does a lot of close-up coin trickage, they're not worth much. Or a magician who wants to keep using his hands, because close-up magicians will put the coins in their hands and then make them walk back and forth, just for the fun of it, to keep their hands nimble.
Yeah, 45-minute mozzarella cheese. That's why I saw the milk. I'm like, that's the cheese one. I want to go with that.
That sounds fun.
Are they going to give samples when they're done? No, I'm kidding.
Yes, you do get samples.
Thank you very much.
45-minute mozzarella cheese at Great Western.
I think I see one of my camp mates
so
giving me
easy.
that.
Is it?
So I'm going to go see what she's...
And there's San Fernando Valley has a wine and cheese shop that
the
sells
puppy
all the stuff.
needs something, or her husband has shown up and she has to walk up there.
You know, that
The fun
there's
of
one in
Merchant Village, right?
That's right.
But thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The cheese, make your own wine and cheese.
Yeah. Well, it literally is 45 minutes. I mean, it's so
That is awesome.
simple to do.
What do you use?
Whole milk. Whole milk and
Sorry that I didn't tell you I used to make vampire
films.
films.
Liquid rennet.
Yeah.
Couple of
Well-
I was going to buy some from that Caballero guy.
If I can ever get the dental
this one
acrylic
you do
again.
over a stove. The one I do at home,
I've still got all the rest of my gear.
It costs like $50 per tube. That's why I never bought
Take it back to
any.
the microwave.
Yeah, I was charging about $40 for a full mouth.
I mean, I ended up making cheese for people for Christmas presents. You know?
And of course, for
we
you,
saved
I'd do it
away and made
gratis.
some ricotta cheese out of that. Wow. Really.
A friend of mine makes green cheese, and she uses whole milk and vinegar, and she heats it, and then she adds the vinegar in and curds, and she drinks the way I think she's perfect.
I really think we need to replace that with your whipcord.
She
I like it.
No, I meant this part, honey.
And I like it.
packs the curd.
I like it
then
that
she'll
it's
mix
thin.
in.
We'd have to make some
sometimes
whipped
she
corn
mixes in a little
Yeah.
bit like a pound cake or something to give it some texture.
I could have done such a better
Stuffs
job on this.
dates with
Such a
that.
piece of crap.
It looks awesome.
It
I'm
takes
jealous.
her
Please,
about
it's garbage.
half an hour.
Whatever.
And
You just want us to praise it.
No, I don't.
No, that's the way he thinks about any of his artwork.
That's what I was thinking. You know, put some rosemary and basil or whatever.
Yes.
You know. Well, the thing about the whey, we've used it, we've saved it and used it as liquid in making bread.
I think I'm just going to make her a new
It's
one.
supposed to be really good for animals. One of the women who was in the class with me said that she mixes it with
I did a
dog
lousy
food all
job
the
on the
time.
tour.
Whatever is in the whey is supposed to be really good for their coat. And her dog has a gorgeous shiny coat. How long have you been doing that? So
Probably the protein.
there's something in it, you know. But it's a lot of fun to do. It's something fun to do with the kids because it's, you know,
Only about
it's
8
cool.
years.
We have this cheese and
Yes.
So this is one of your earlier ones?
Gee, we made it.
Made that about 2 years ago.
Yeah, my son started,
And I make jelly.
well,
This time
5 years ago.
Yeah.
He started coming here.
Yeah.
He made a, thank you. Call that archery.
And people go,
Quiver?
Quiver. So he did the archery. He was a captain or whatever of the archery tournament. And he made
it
one for
finally dawned on
prize.
me
Yeah.
next year.
And he's been making, and everything that
For
he
years and
makes,
years because we had a plum tree that
time
used
he
to give
makes
us
it gets
more
more.
of the plums. And it's like
Oh, yeah. You can do nothing but get better when it comes to
the
that, just because you get better technique and
and
everything else. But
He started a shield. He decided to make a leather shield with a Celtic knot.
Yeah.
When he was done with it, he put it on a ball.
This
This one's going
thing is that I am quite definitely my own worst critic. I have never liked anything that I've ever done, and her laurel praises stuff that I've done is like, are you completely insane?
Well, you know what? But see, you've been doing, you know where you went insect.
Yeah, yeah. I can see all of the screw-ups.
Yeah.
You know, it's like somebody else looks at it, they think it's, you know, gorgeous or whatever. You know, or imbeciles like my lovely wife here thinks it's beautiful. Forget that.
You're knitting or you're crocheting, you know, that's not perfect.
Oh yeah.
And you can find where it is, but nobody else will see it.
Yeah.
We have two
Well, that's about crochet. You're going to rip it all back out and fix
and
it.
so when we're getting pomegranates.
Yeah, when it comes to tooling leather, you don't tend to be able. It's a one-way trip. It's a one-way
I can
trip.
show you all the faults on my garb right now, and on his shirt, and on her clothes, because I made those too.
Mikey was making me some cross-stitch knotwork trim to go on a new cloak, and she did
4 yards.
4 yards worth of it, and she had dyed the white embroidery cloth that she did it on to a burgundy. And she set it and did all of that, and then she spent almost 3 years doing the knotwork cross stitch. Threw it in the wash.
Oh no!
And the burgundy dye bled and turned the beautiful golden yellow thread to this reddish yellow. And she said she took it out and almost threw it away.
Yeah.
And I went, and I would have killed you. The more she's looked at it on my cloak, because I made her put it on.
I need to wet that because
She's come to really like the fact that it's not perfectly bright golden yellow.
Captain now.
Hi, Captain.
Actually, I probably would have killed her.
Why not? Hell, you'd probably do a better job than I do.
For 3 years watching her do it.
Yeah, my kids do it. I went to our local food market and asked if usually I start
I'm gonna stop recording now. It's been like 40 minutes almost.
Yeah, I don't know why.